Welcome to the BetQL Daily Boost. I'm Lucy Burge of BetQL.com, and I am joined by Dan Karpuk and Kate Constable, and we have a Masters odds boost. The day is getting closer to the start of the Masters. To celebrate, we have Rory McIlroy, Jordan Spieth, Cameron Young, and Brooks Koepka to all make the cut. This is boosted to plus 100 at DraftKings. To get plus money on all four to make the cut, ton of value here. I think all of them will make the cut. So these kind of odds is kind of a can't miss opportunity. I feel like get in on plus 100 here.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you talk about Rory McIlroy. He's number 2 ranked golfer in the world, one of the favorites to win the whole thing. He had a runner-up finish last year, finished 4th in 2015, tied for 5th in 2018 and 2020. So, I mean, he's finishing near the top of the leaderboard most of his outings at the Masters. Jordan Spieth and Brooks Koepka both missed the cut last year, and that's the first time that they've ever missed the cut at the Masters. So I would imagine that kind of stung a little bit, and they're not going to want to feel that again. So I think those two can make the cut. And then in the last couple years for Cameron Young, I mean, he's had top 10 finishes in the last 3 years. 2 of those 3 years finished in the top 3. So plus money for all of these players to make the cut. It feels like free money almost.
Yeah, and I looked up some course history, some event history here for each one. And McIlroy, like you mentioned, finished second last year. He's made the cut in 11 of his last 12 appearances here. So that seems like a gimme. Mm-hmm. Spieth, as we know, has a green jacket. He missed the cut last year, yes, but he's gone 8 for 9 here. And he has 5 different top 3 finishes at the Masters. 5 different top 3 finishes is insane. So this is clearly an event that he's really comfortable at. This is Cameron Young's second appearance here, but he ranks 14th in the official world golf ranking. So he is one of these elite golfers, and all we need is for him to make the cut. So that's, I think, a pretty low bar for him. And finally, Koepka here. He has missed the cut in each of his last 2 years here, 5 for 7 overall. But he's finished tied for second here in 2019, and he's also coming off his second Live Golf Tournament win. So he's clearly in some good form. He's a guy who shows up in majors. I think, like, looking back at his career, like it's pretty clear that he turns things on during the majors and maybe doesn't care as much to prepare for other events. But he's a 4-time PGA major winner. So all we need, we could double our money if all 4 of them make the cut. And I think this is a pretty valuable bet here this week.
Yes, so grab this at plus 100 at DraftKings and head to BetQL.com and get your free 3-day trial today. And check out our exclusive sportsbook offers there as well. And of course, follow us on Twitter at Daniel Karpuk, at Kate Constable, and at Lucille Burge. We have our favorite bets for today. Also, I am going to MLB. Alex Manoah, under 5.5 strikeouts against the Royals. Manoah only had 3 strikeouts in his first start of the season. He has an ERA of 13.50 after that
Patrick
outing.
Corbin.
Wow. Seriously, on Patrick Corbin Day, to all who celebrate, happy Patrick Corbin Day, to all Alex Manoah Day as well. Under 5.5, the Royals are kind of in the middle of the pack in terms of team total strikeouts this season. They are 17th in the league. And when Manoah faced the Royals last season, he had only 4 strikeouts in that outing. So I think he can hit the under on this one tonight.
Love it, Lucy. I'm going to go over to the NBA and take the Bulls plus 8.5 against the Bucks tonight. Both of these teams are on a back-to-back. Bulls lost to the Hawks by 18 at home last night, which was a miserable loss. The Bucks beat the Wizards on the road. Milwaukee just needs one more win in these next 3 games in order to lock up the number 1 seed in the East. That's because the Celtics lost to the Sixers last night. So the Celtics' hope of jumping the Bucks is kind of out the window. Sorry, Lucy.
No, and Dan.
Regardless of if they win tonight or not, I think Chicago can keep this one close. Bulls have already beat the Bucks twice this season, and they're still kind of looking to move up within the playing-in ranks. Bulls are also top 10 in defensive rating over their last 10 games, so they laid a dud on the defensive end last night, but I think they can bounce back and, kind of lock things up on that side of the floor tonight and at least keep this one within 8. So I will take the points with the Bulls on the road.
Sweet. I'm going to go to the NBA player prop market. It is a prop that I don't think makes any sense today. Jalen Brunson, over 6.5 assists versus the Pacers. This is minus 140 at DraftKings. I found this as the best odds. So I think this is probably going to move up to 7.5 assists. Maybe we could get some plus money on that. But right now, 6.5 assists. Now, since Julius Randle went out with his season-ending injury or regular season-ending injury, Brunson's gotten even more offensive usage. He posted 9 and 8 assists in his last 2 games without Randle against the Cavaliers and Wizards, respectively, with 12 potential assists on average in those games. But he's attempted 21.5 more passes than any of his teammates in those 2 games. Now the point guard gets an awesome matchup against the Pacers team that has allowed 26.3 assists per game to their opponents, which is the 4th most in the NBA. And over their last 5 contests, I looked this up because I kind of thought there was a little bit of a trend that we could take advantage of here. Indiana actually has the worst defensive rating in the entire NBA. So Brunson should be able to make a lot happen as a facilitator on the offensive end of the floor in this one. And in that 5-game set, to dig a little deeper here, the Pacers have allowed an average of 70 points per game in the paint. You don't see that very often. 70 points per game in the paint. So I expect a lot of cuts to the rim, a lot of drives to the rim to exploit that weakness here. And those are obviously higher percentage shots than mid-range or 3-point attempts. Indiana's also allowed 21.4 points per game off turnovers, 16.8 fast break points per contest. Those are right near the bottom as well. So there's a lot of ways that this Knicks offense is going to be able to exploit their defense. So lots of easy buckets on the way. I think this is going to move to 7.5 probably very soon here. So if you could get on this before it does, or even get plus money on it when it does, I think this is the best bet on the board today.
So much value today in those bets and the odds boost. So get in on all of those and subscribe to the BetQL Daily Boost wherever you get your podcasts.